Then you get through those first two. You have what will either be the most forgotten game of the season or the most important game of the season. Mississippi State coming to your place. If you take care of Mississippi State, if you beat Mississippi State, nobody on the planet cares. You know what I'm saying? No, you're not leading Sports Center. You're not, nobody. Oh, South Carolina beat Mississippi State. If you lose to Mississippi State to open the year in SEC play, all of a sudden everybody is panicking on the Insiders Forum on Gamecock Central. So this can either be the most important game of the year, you actually hope it's not, or a game where you say, we took care of business. This team is dangerous, dude, because one, they come in with nothing to lose. Two, you have not been tested yet at that point if you're South Carolina. And three, college football is still all about dudes. It's about playmakers. It's about difference makers. And this kid, Kamario Taylor, comes in with the potential to be the next big stud in the SEC. Now, is he ready to be that? Is he going to be that? I don't know. He's still got to take that leap. But what I saw out of him in his brief time last year as he started to take over as their quarterback, he's the dude now. They're handing him the reins to this Jeff Lebby high-octane style of offense, which, by the way, he's Kendall Briles' brother-in-law. Two identical offenses in scheme in terms of background for the most part. They're the Spider-Man meme staring and pointing at each other right now. If you're not ready for this game, then it is going to be, I don't want to say it's going to be ugly like, you're going to lose the game. I'm saying you will find yourself in a dogfight because we saw Mississippi State, which they should be better than they were last year, in my opinion. We saw last year's Mississippi State team really should have beat Florida, should have beat Texas, should have beat Tennessee. So, I'm not saying South Carolina can't blow them out. Anybody saying, South Carolina should blow them out, or it's that's the same as a loss if they don't blow them out. I don't buy that thinking at all. We know that's not how football works, especially early in the season. We know South Carolina has a track record of starting their years slow and getting better as the year progresses. I just can't put into words how important of an early test this will be for South Carolina when you consider how this schedule will ramp up as the year goes on.
Yeah, and that's the key, right? If you lose to Mississippi State, it's not, the season's in the tank. We've seen this movie several times where South Carolina loses to a team that maybe they're not supposed to, go beat a team or teams that they maybe were not favored to beat, right? The key for South Carolina, the goal is, can you get in range to make the playoff this year? That's everybody's goal nowadays. It should be the goal here at South Carolina. And if you're going to do that, playing this schedule, a 9-game SEC schedule plus Clemson, you got to have some margin for error. You have to have some wiggle room. You got to have that buffer. And a team, you don't want to make the Mississippi State game your kind of mulligan, so to speak, or Mississippi State and Kentucky, right? Without getting too far ahead, if you're South Carolina, beating Mississippi State, having a chance to ramp up to Mississippi State and going to beat them, it makes you 3-0. It gives you an opportunity to put your best foot forward in the front half of the season, which from a schedule standpoint is more manageable, is easier, frankly, than the back half of the schedule. And it allows you to use up that buffer in the second half of the season. So that's why this game is so important. But you're right, it is going to be a challenge. It's a team that, Mississippi State didn't win an SEC game in 2024. I think they were 2-10 overall. Last year, they took a big step forward, not necessarily from a record standpoint, but they were a problem for teams. Just ask some of those teams that they almost beat, if they had fun during that game. They did not. And so you don't, if you're South Carolina, you don't want to let this one get away. It's a tough offense to defend. It's a quarterback in Kamario Taylor that can make things very difficult on you.
Tennessee went to overtime, right? Texas went to overtime. Florida is the one where Mississippi State's driving to kick the game-winning field goal. and I think batted pass interception or big man interception.
Lost
I
by
mean,
4. Lost by 4 to Georgia.
did they really?
No, that's wrong. That's wrong.
I was about to say, I don't think that was the case.
I was looking at the wrong schedule.
But beat Arizona State, who was preseason top 25
Yes,
after being really, really good the year before. My thing is this with those type of games, Chris. There's so many like variances and variables that can affect a game. If you're Texas, if you're Tennessee, if you're Florida, you are one bad bounce from losing those games. You know what I'm saying? Like, you only control so much. Like, yes, Texas won the game, but what if a guy gets a hand up and bats down a pass that went for a key first down or touchdown? You know what I'm saying? You leave so much to chance when you get in those tight ball games. A lot of tight games, there is a huge luck factor. So you just don't want to get yourself. You want to have enough margin, enough buffer that if you have a couple bad luck plays, you still win the game. That only puts Mississippi State in striking distance, as opposed to putting them, oh crap, where we have the ball with 3 minutes to go and have to drive to win this game. And now a tipped pass could mean game over. You know, it gets tipped to the opponent, and there you go. So I think that's why it's imperative not only to obviously try to win that game, but try to be ready to play well enough early in the year that it's not going to come down to, the luck of the draw, basically. And as Luke says, they bring in Zach Arnett, who has a scheme and has a history that is a track record of doing more with less. And I think that's what you have to do at Mississippi State. You're not going to be a Georgia defense. You're not going to be, a loaded Texas defense, more than likely. But you can – Mississippi State over the years has put together some salty defenses where they have a little bit different scheme. It's that what is it? The 3-3-5 that's from New Mexico State. Isn't that the roots of?
Long. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a pain to go against, I think. They got some good linebackers, replace a lot on the defensive line. I think they bring back a good bit of their secondary. So they will take a step forward, I think, under Zach Arnett, just because, the dude can coach. So scary game there.